It's actually an interesting story how I got into occupational therapy. I did my undergraduate degree in food nutrition and health. I think it was my second year of my bachelor that my grandfather deteriorated from dementia, and we had an OT come in and do all these home modifications, which really improved the quality of life for my grandfather. It made such a huge difference, not just for him, but for my family. And that's what really pushed me towards pursuing OT. My name is Serena, and I am an occupational therapist and hand therapist at Active Hand Therapy. Some of the highlights of studying at Bond, I think it's the location and the weather. Coming from Vancouver, where it's cold most of the year, it's nice to walk into endless summer. There's just so much to do around the Gold Coast. There's so many job opportunities, and it's a beautiful campus. There's always stuff happening. So I think overall, it's just a really great environment. I think a huge way that Bond supported me in securing my job as a hand therapist on the Gold Coast was the fact that they really supported me in my interest. So when I expressed to them that I really wanted to pursue hand therapy, they were happy for me to gear all of my assignments and research towards that. They also facilitated finding me a 10-week placement in hand therapy and put me into contact with my now boss, David Coles. So they really did help to support me in my interest.
My name's David Coles. I'm the Director of Active Hand Therapy, Senior Hand Therapist and Accredited Hand Therapist through our Australian Hand Therapy Association. I love my job as an occupational therapist. I find that it's social, I can be myself. It's very creative. I've got to use a lot of clinical reasoning skills. I'm still challenged every day. I'm learning every day, and I make a real difference with my patients. Bond University gives fantastic students who are mature, have fantastic communication skills, and because it's a master's, they've done previous undergraduate study, so they've come with a certain base of knowledge, and they're usually really well motivated to start a new career in occupational therapy. Students should consider an occupational therapy degree because they come out with a variety of skills and can have a real impact on their patients or clients or injured workers. They really enhance people's function and their quality of life, and it makes you feel really well rewarded to enable that as a professional.
A few years back, I was working in New York and I had an accident at work. I went through a very long process of getting surgery on my hand. I was very nervous. I was in my young 20s at this point and really wanted to have a functioning hand. The surgeons were telling me that there was a chance it might be frozen, the knuckle, and that I wouldn't be able to bend the finger. And then I met my occupational therapist. He asked me what I wanted to do, and I told him I wanted to surf, I wanted to play guitar, I wanted to do all of the things I did before. And he said, okay, let's do that. I could just tell that the relationship was going to be so much different, and he really took the time to explain things to me, and we worked together and had this bond where I felt like it was really a team effort. So that really inspired me to pursue occupational therapy. Now, I don't even think about it. I have as much function in this hand as I do my hand that didn't have the injury.
Occupational therapy, I feel like, is a very holistic profession. It's very client-centered, and there's no one paths to getting to your patient's goals, and I feel like it requires a lot of creativity and thinking outside the box and just focusing on what your patient or client wants. So what kind of drew me to Bond? I kind of really liked how it was a smaller university. The campus was smaller, so I feel like it's easier to network. Living on Gold Coast has actually been really amazing. Everyone's super friendly and welcoming. And I love to point out that I'm international. I'm from Canada.
We're often asked, how does occupational therapy differ from other professions? For example, physiotherapy or psychology? So I use the analogy that a physiotherapist will teach you how to walk. An occupational therapist will show you how to put your shoes on, how to get dressed, how to do your makeup and hair, and how to go to the dance and have fun. So physiotherapy is very much focused on mobility, but what OT does is take it that one step further and say, okay, you can walk. So what are you going to walk for? Why do you need to walk? What are those things that you need to do? So OTs are practical problem solvers, and we often work in multidisciplinary teams with physios and psychologists, social workers, but we're quite unique in that we build on some of those skills that other disciplines have as a core focus. If you like flexibility, if you're more interested in well-being, in quality of life, and a diversity of different areas that you can work in, that you can help people across the full lifespan in a whole range of settings, occupational therapy is for you.
I really like the structure of OT at Bond because of the trimesters. So one, we'd be finished with the program much faster, but also in addition to that, I really like the idea of having small classroom groups because I feel like I would get more out of the learning experience when I'm speaking with our educators or even my fellow students. Everyone brings a different perspective and you have that time and space to let you exchange ideas when we're learning as well.
One of the main points of difference at Bond University are the opportunities to do research or a business project, which sets students apart from bachelor degree programs. So students partner with industries and local businesses to complete a project that meets the community's needs, as well as provides a really great learning experience to develop project management and advanced leadership skills. When students study the Master of Occupational Therapy here at Bond, they can expect to gain practical, real-world experiences to help them make a difference in their communities whilst they're studying and into the future. Another key feature of the Master of Occupational Therapy program is the accelerated course structure. So in 6 semesters, across 2 years, you can complete the coursework, all the clinical placements, and also have some time for traveling and having fun. Students are really well supported and mentored to achieve their personal career goals. The Master of Occupational Therapy and the Professional Doctorate of Occupational Therapy here at Bond have been approved for candidacy status with ACOTE, which is the accrediting body for OT in the United States. This means that graduates can easily transfer their qualification back to the United States and sit the national board exam and register to practice, just as if they were studying at a university located in the United States. There's always opportunities to study occupational therapy in Boston or Chicago or Texas. However, getting the chance to hop on a plane, travel to Australia, and get the exact same qualification that will enable you to go back and work and have an amazing career in such an in-demand and rewarding profession is a fantastic opportunity.
My advice for Canadian students thinking about studying occupational therapy at Bond, do it. If you're considering it, just do it. It's a fantastic experience. The education is great. You'll make friends for life and you'll never be out of a job in the most beautiful city that I can think of.